Imagine the complete outrage that a PlayStation developer or even a former PlayStation developer would heap mounds and mounds and mounds of praise on a game that's exclusive console-wise to Xbox, like, say, Starfield. Believe it or not, it's happening, and it's happened, and PlayStation fans are not taking it well. Listen, I've already stated this numerous times, but what's hilarious to me is the fact that every single time somebody posts something about Starfield, there's posts underneath of it about PlayStation from angry PlayStation fanboys. This is hilarious to me because it really just goes to show how badly they wanted that game. And, I love the fact that Starfield has kind of shown people's true colors. First of all, what it does show is that there's a good contingent of gamer out there that treats Xbox differently than PlayStation, and there's a bias there, right? There's still articles to this day going, is Starfield going to come to PlayStation? Asking that question. They still ask Phil Spencer that question after the game's launched. They're already talking about the next Elder Scrolls. Is it going to be Xbox exclusive? Right? Like, seriously, you never ever will hear anybody ask Sony, is The Last of Us Part 3 going to come to Xbox? Is the next Naughty Dog game coming to Xbox? Is Spider-Man coming to Xbox? You would never hear anybody in the media ask that from them. To me, it's mind-blowing, right? It's mind-blowing, and it's ignorance at its best. So, I wanted to get into this because I actually think that it's pretty incredible to see this happen the way that it has happened, and I wanted to get everybody's take on it. So, again, David Jaffe, yes, I get that he's kind of a troll or whatever. Ex-God of War creator says Starfield is easily one of his top 3 games of all times. There are a lot of positive reviews and opinions of Starfield being tossed about, but David Jaffe, an ex-PlayStation exclusive developer who created the original God of War and Twisted Metal, says that Starfield is easily one of his top 3 games of all time. That's incredibly high praise coming from someone who has made great games and has likely played a lot of great games as well. He goes even further by trying to stomp out the unquenchable flames of the console war. In Jaffe's original tweet, he says Starfield is easily one of his top 3 games of all time. Again, he also advises don't let the childish console war nonsense keep you away from this brilliant thing. And I gotta be honest, as someone who's played it 30 some hours, I completely agree. If you have a way to get an Xbox and you're a console gamer, by all means, get this game, play this game. But if you have to play it through the cloud and you have a strong connection and there's no other way you can do it, play it. If you can play it through PC and you got a potato, but it still plays it at 30 frames per second, play it. This game deserves it. Obviously, you could be seeing a decline in console war thinking, but Xbox's acquisition of Bethesda was a big blow to PlayStation players, and they're letting the salt flow. Starfield not being available on PlayStation does unavoidably spark the console war debate. However, from the threads and things like that people are buying PCs and Xboxes just to play Starfield, which is probably exactly what Microsoft wants. Obviously, it's nice seeing PlayStation developers and former PlayStation developers kind of switching up sides there, praising Xbox games and Xbox developers praising PlayStation games. Gaming is supposed to be a fun thing where we all enjoy fantastic worlds beyond our own. It's easy to say, but again, David Jaffe, is one of those people that is very much, in my opinion anyway, he knows how to play the game of Twitter, and he knows how to play kind of those type of things. So when we see that he's all on board about Starfield and things like that, I think that really kind of goes to show that yes, indeed, it is a really good game, because he was pretty honest about some of the other games. He was really honest about I think he wasn't a big fan of Horizon Forbidden West. I wasn't either. He liked God of War Ragnarok. I like God of War Ragnarok. Now, I will say, when people ask me about God of War Ragnarok, what I thought, listen, I'm past that point in my life where I just want to go crap on things because they're not on my favorite thing or whatever, right? I prefer Xbox. That is not ever in question. I just prefer Xbox. I always have, always will. Now, does that mean that I was always happy with Xbox? No. I was pissed off when I didn't feel like they were in it to win it. And I'm not talking about the console wars. I'm talking about I felt like they didn't even want to compete. So when you see stuff like this happen, and they get Bethesda and they get a game like Starfield and the next Doom and Indiana Jones and things like that, it's easy to see why you can have faith in them once again. And again, I like seeing that they're going all in on this stuff, because clearly this is the important thing for Microsoft and they want to be able to have success there. But seeing an PlayStation developer talk about Xbox and talk about how good it is and how it's this or that or the other thing, I think that really kind of makes things sort of happen the way that they have. Like, it's been sort of a whirlwind few weeks or whatever. So we've been seeing that for a long time now, that Xbox was kind of trending in the right direction. And at the end of the day, it's one of those things where we see like kind of Xbox is kind of coming into its own. And to be quite honest about it, I love it. I love seeing this kind of stuff happen. I love seeing that everything is happening like the way it is. Now, I think what Phil Spencer has been able to kind of pull off is really good, because Jaffe has been very outspoken about Microsoft's inability to launch a game and this and that and the other thing. Like, these are things that that he said multiple times. I gave Microsoft a little bit more benefit of the doubt. Obviously, I was very angry at Microsoft over various points and times. But again, they should be given every right to fight back and be able to have these types of things happen, like in a good way, right? Like, they dealt with the pandemic and lockdowns too. So did Sony, so did everybody else. So I'm kind of like in the camp where I understand why Sony stuff is lacking in availability from the first party as well right now, right? Like, they were in different points of development, right? Microsoft's were more early in development when lockdowns happens. Sony's were later in some of them, and then so they release them in 2020, 2021, or 2022, whatever, and then you have a long wait because of those lockdowns are catching up to you. And so that's why it's like they have Spider-Man this year. Yes, I get baseball or whatever, but and that's why they don't have anything confirmed for next year from the first party, while Microsoft has a plethora of games. Microsoft is in much better position right now to launch these things, and I think that is absolutely brilliant. And I love the fact that Microsoft is able to kind of pull off what they pulled off, and it's an exciting time for Xbox gamers everywhere. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that he's turned his back on PlayStation? I've seen some people like that. Hell, I've seen people trying to get Alana Pierce fired from her job at Sony Santa Monica because she loves Starfield and is playing it. Right? Like that, it's ridiculous. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.